Welcome to this episode of the DIY Maker. Today we are going to make a super high current extension cable for use on my truck here. I like to use this truck as my mobile platform when I'm in the field so that I can fill air guns easily. And I've upgraded recently the power available on the front of my truck from 50 amps to 175. To do that, I use these SB175 connectors from Anderson. And today we're going to make an extension cable to get from the front of the truck to the bed of the truck when I want to work back here, either to fill air guns with my large DC compressors or run an inverter to do some cooking, make some coffee, important stuff like that. So stick around. We're going to get to it here in a second. I'm going to bring you in close here so you can see me work. Okay, so the tools we're going to use today, or the equipment we're going to use, we've got our wire here. This is a battery booster cable. It's 2 gauge, and in the current ranges I'm using, this is appropriate for its length. I also have some 2 gauge contacts for my SB175 connectors. I've got a knife here for doing the wire stripping because 2 gauge cable is beyond the limits of any of the strippers I have. And we got a crimper here as well to put those terminals on. But one of the most important things that we want to remember when we're doing this kind of work is to do a little planning, get out ahead of yourself a little bit. So here I've got the red and the black cables here. Make sure that your connector, you lay that out ahead of time so that black is there, that's the minus on this terminal. Black is that one, and red is this one. So with this situated like this, I want to make sure that when I crimp these terminals on, I crimp them in the same plane so that they're not rotated like this or like this. I want to make sure that these go in naturally in the way that the housing wants to hold them. And the way you can tell, you can look inside here and see the spring terminals. These are going to go, this surface with the little hook on the end is going to go flat to the spring. You can see the springs in here. These want to go in this way. So by laying everything out ahead of time, I'm sure to keep myself honest and make sure I crimp these in the right orientation. The reason the orientation matters is because this is a bonded cable. So the black and the red are together. So when we're done, we want to make sure that we don't have to twist these to get them to line up because these only go in one way in the housing. So let's get to stripping and get to doing our crimps. I'm only going to show you one side of the crimp here because honestly, it's exactly the same on the other end. Now I'm going to cut through this insulation. I'm not going all the way down to the copper. This is important. We don't want to reduce the diameter of our wire. We want to cut it a little bit and then bend it. Cut it a little more and then gradually get it so that it just barely getting through that. We don't want blade pressure on the copper because that will nick the copper and eventually lead to a reduction in conductors, and we don't want that. So we've got a nice twist there. Going to get our terminal on. Remember, this is upside down right now. We want that to go down. So now that we've got our terminal in place and it's orientated the right way, we're going to take our crimpers, get them on the right position, make sure our cable I'm going to do a double crimp. And there we have it. One down, one to go. strip on this guy. Use that insulation. Give us a little twist there. Again, make sure you clock this the same way or the correct way. And once we get both of our crimps done, we can take them and insert them in our connector. Here's the positive, and here's the minus. There we have it. There's one end. Do the same on the other, and you got yourself a really effective high current DC extension cord for the SB175.